Have you ever needed to create a fund listing for a venture capital fund? Do you spend $250,000 a year on an analyst or a web developer to create your fund listing? Well, no more. The Velvet Magic Dataroom is here. Let's introduce the team. Let's give it to Ben first.
Hi, I'm Ben Ruckman. I did most of the back end for the Velvet Magic Dataroom, and I am a junior software developer at Velvet. Here's Chris.
Hi, I'm Chris. I'm also a software engineer at Velvet. I did a lot of the dynamic visualizations for this project. And let's give it to Jordan.
Hi, my name is Jordan. I was in charge of the database for this project.
So imagine that you are a fund manager and you're looking at all your financial documents. They look like this. I don't want to go through all those documents, do you? What if there was a way to automatically scrape all the data that you care about from these documents, all the tables, and put them in some kind of structured data so that you can create awesome dynamic visualizations?
In this situation, fund managers would have to hire an analyst to go through all this financial data and painstakingly and manually create charts and graphs for their fund listings, which they would try and use to advertise to potential investors. In this case, these visualizations would take a long time to be produced, they would cost a lot, and it would just be a general headache for everybody involved.
And that's where the Velvet Magic Dataroom comes in. With your documents, you can take them, you can upload them, we can scrape the data from it, and then you can generate these beautiful charts with just natural language query. Super simple, super easy, cuts out an entire analyst job.
So here we are at the fund creation screen for the Velvet Magic Dataroom. We have some information here that is sort of a recap of what we talked about before. We're going to be uploading some files, and we're going to be able to create fund listings based on the information in those files. So let's create our fund. We are going to use Innovation Ventures. That's the name of our fictional fund for today. And let's upload a pitch deck. And there are several different kinds of files you can upload, but we're going to be uploading the presentation deck today. So right now we are going to process those files. We have OCR running. We are also going to describe the columns in each table. Great, so it looks like our file is finished processing. Let's continue to our data room. So you can see we scraped some key information from the document. We have the headquarters, the year founded, and an investment thesis. We can also look at the information that we pulled in terms of tabular data. So we have some kind of time series here for our fund. And let's look at doing some kind of value over time query. So you just ask the system like you would in English, show me value over time. Great, so we have our generated chart here. We have the same information. We start around 1 million and at 2.5 million for our fund. We could also change the kind of chart that we have here if we wanted a bar chart instead. Let's make it a line chart though. Great, but what if we only wanted to see certain values for that same query? We have this column here where we're getting distributions. Let's see if we can only plot value for years with positive distributions. You would ask the system the same way. Show me value over time for years with positive distributions. Great, and we see that our query is complete. We filtered out certain years here, and we notice that we start at 2011, which is the first entry that has that positive distribution. We can also do multivariate charts here. So we were interested in these final 3 columns. We could plot those. Show me value, distributions, and capital calls over time. And we could also instruct the system to output as a bar chart. Great, and we have our visualization down here. And you can see that we're plotting 3 different types of data at the same time. We could change this type of chart to a line chart to match our other charts if we'd like. We can also rearrange these charts. Maybe we like this one the best. Great, and our listing is shaping up pretty nicely here, but let's do one more visualization. We can do math with this kind of system, so let's try something sort of like a derivative here. If we wanted to get the percent change in value over time, we could do that. Show me percent change in value over time. Great, and our visualization is prepared here. So we have that sort of derivative that we could see in these other value analyses. So that could be our fund listing there. And we didn't even have to hire any kind of analyst. We didn't need to have any kind of technical skills to produce these visualizations. All we needed were our documents and some natural language queries. So we have 3 repos. On the left here, we have our chart component library, which is TypeScript React. That is built using a low-level visualization framework called VisX, which is developed by Airbnb. We packaged that up using a technology called Webpack. The backend code generation services library is written in Python. That uses OCR via Azure, Microsoft's OCR service. It calls endpoints such as OpenAI's GPT endpoints and generates structured pandas code to execute. That is what actually generates the output from the user queries. These both tie into our mono repo, which is also Python and TypeScript. So we are running a Django backend in Python. This feeds documents into S3 buckets and is hosted on Railway. Our front end, as well as our Postgres database, those are both hosted on Vercel.
In total, we have run 4,500 jobs while developing the senior project. We have closed 403 issues across 3 different repositories. And we have committed 2,200 times across all 3 of our repositories.
In conclusion, the Velvet Magic Dataroom platform allows fund users and funds to more seamlessly create visualizations of their financial data and use that to advertise to potential investors. And potential investors are able to use the Velvet Magic Dataroom platform to use natural language queries to figure out whether or not they want to invest in a fund rather than having to pour through all the financial data themselves. Thank you.